If you're new here, this channel is where we break down MS simply, with no doom, just truth. If you're living with MS or trying to understand it, you're in the right place. We're here to help make MS make sense. Because today, we're not talking about symptoms people see. We're talking about the ones that make you question yourself, and nobody else even notices. This isn't "I forgot my keys." This is "Why does my brain feel different and I can't explain it?" The mental side of MS isn't dramatic. It's subtle, constant, and easy to misunderstand. Stick around for the big reveal at the end. How to talk about this so people finally get it. You sound fine, so people assume you are fine. But inside, it's like thoughts buffering, emotions lagging, reactions slightly off timing. It's like your brain is on a delay, but there's no subtitles for other people. You try to explain it, and halfway through, you realize you don't even understand it yourself. Invisible doesn't mean imaginary. And that brings us to the confidence glitch no one talks about. This isn't the classic "I forgot my keys" moment. This is a much quieter, more insidious kind of doubt. It's a constant, low-humming internal monologue that sounds a lot like, "Was that the right word to use in that email? Did I just sound weird when I said hello? Why am I second-guessing everything I do today?" It's exhausting, because it's not about forgetting a fact. It's about questioning your own delivery, your tone, your very way of being in the world. You start to feel like you're constantly being graded on your own personality, and you're not sure you're passing. Every decision, no matter how small, suddenly feels like a high-stakes, multiple-choice question where all the answers look correct and also slightly suspicious. Choosing a brand of coffee, deciding what to say next in a conversation, picking a font for a document, it all gets funneled through this new, hypercritical lens. It's like your brain's internal fact-checker, the one that used to give you a quick thumbs up, is suddenly lagging. There's a delay, a little buffer, and in that tiny gap, a tidal wave of self-doubt rushes in. You know the answer is in there somewhere, but you can't get the instant confirmation you used to rely on. And the biggest casualty of this cognitive lag is trust. You don't trust your brain the same way anymore. That easy confidence you had in your own judgment, your social instincts, your professional expertise, it starts to erode. This isn't about intelligence, it's about reliability. Your brain, once your most trusted co-pilot, now feels like a partner you have to constantly double-check. And that fundamental shift in self-trust changes how you show up in every area of your life, from your relationships to your career. This creates a constant nagging question that can be incredibly isolating. Is this just me? Am I just becoming an anxious person? Or is this the MS? It's a confusing tug-of-war for your own identity. So, let's tug on that rope a little harder next. But first, a quick pause. If this is landing with you, please hit that like button. It's a small click that makes a huge difference in helping more people find this conversation and feel less alone. Fresh angle, identity distortion. Energy affects personality, mood, who you actually are. Same person, wildly different operating system. That's where it gets heavy because now you're not just managing symptoms, you're managing who people think you are. We need to talk about the invisible effort tax. Everyone else is walking on a sidewalk, you're walking through invisible mud. And nobody claps because nobody sees it. Following conversations, processing instructions, switching tasks, the extra cognitive load is invisible and exhausting, which is why social situations feel different. Group conversations equals chaos. Timing responses becomes harder. You start choosing silence more. By the time your brain finishes processing the joke, the conversation is already in a completely different topic. So now you're not just tired, you're quietly withdrawing without meaning to. If that resonates, you're not alone. Quick breather. If this helps you put words to it, hit subscribe. It tells YouTube this is worth sharing. Internal battle. Push harder versus rest before you crash. Your brain becomes a terrible life coach. You're fine, probably, maybe. Go ahead, ruin your day. This is where guilt lives. Not doing enough, doing too much, paying for it later. Speaking of later, the delayed consequence effect is real and rarely explained well. One of the most counterintuitive parts of living with MS is what I call the delayed consequence effect. Think of it like this. MS is like a credit card. You don't feel the cost when you swipe it for a burst of activity. But the bill always shows up later. And it comes with interest. That interest isn't just feeling a little tired. It can be a full-blown symptom flare-up, crushing fatigue, intensified brain fog, maybe even pain or numbness. Your body overdraws its energy account, and the payback is steep. It's a broken feedback loop. Most people operate on a debit card system. They feel the energy drain in real time and know when to stop. With MS, that signal is delayed, or sometimes completely absent, luring you into doing more than you can afford. And this right here is why planning your life gets so weird. Let's say there's an important event on a Saturday, like a wedding or a family gathering you absolutely don't want to miss. For most people, the planning is simple. Show up. For you, it's a 3-day strategic operation. You have to do very little on Friday, treating it as a pre-recovery day to bank energy. Then, after the event, you must block out all of Sunday for recovery. And that doesn't mean a lazy day on the couch watching movies. It means a mandatory system shutdown, a non-negotiable period of rest to pay back that energy debt. This is the buffer day framework. 1 day of significant activity often requires a 3-day commitment. This creates a strange disconnect with yourself. The you who decides to be active is not the same you who has to pay the price. The now you feels pretty good, sees the sun is shining, and thinks, I can totally clean the garage and go for a walk. But the later you, the one who wakes up Sunday morning feeling like they've run a marathon in their sleep, has to deal with the consequences. It's a fundamental conflict between your present self's desires and your future self's needs. So how do you manage this? You have to become your own internal auditor. You have to learn to hear that quieter, wiser voice that whispers, be careful. You'll pay for this later. A helpful mnemonic is PACE. It stands for plan, anticipate, conserve, and evaluate. Plan your activities with buffer days. Anticipate the delayed cost. Conserve your energy even when you feel good. And evaluate the outcome to learn your limits. This isn't about being negative. It's about being strategic. It's about parenting your present self to protect your future self. Ultimately, this requires a profound mental shift. You have to move away from the goal of maximizing good days, of chasing those peaks of high activity. Instead, the new goal is to cultivate a steady, sustainable level of energy across all days. It's less exciting, for sure. It feels like settling, but it's the key to a more predictable and manageable life. It's about trading the roller coaster for a gentle, rolling hill, giving you more stability and control in the long run. No visible proof, hard to describe, constantly changing. Even your own brain is like, I don't know how to explain this. Good luck. So you simplify it for people, and they underestimate it. Stay for the end. We'll give you clear phrases so it finally makes sense to others. Give yourself processing time. Reduce mental overload. Fewer tabs, better days. Be honest earlier, before burnout hits. Build low-effort systems for daily life. Your goal isn't to become superhuman, it's to stop fighting your own brain all day. Try these. I need a moment to process that. Could you slow down a bit? My brain is a little laggy today. I sometimes need a second to gather my thoughts before I speak. If this helped you put words to something you couldn't explain, hit subscribe and like. That's exactly what we do here. It also helps this reach others dealing with the same silent stuff. So let's bring it all together. The mental side of MS, the cognitive fog, the processing delays. It isn't some big, dramatic, cinematic event. It's not a lightning strike that shorts out the whole system at once. Instead, it's subtle, it's constant. And because it's invisible, it's incredibly easy for others, and even for ourselves, to misunderstand. It's the feeling of your brain's Wi-Fi constantly dropping a few bars, making everything buffer just a little bit longer than it should. It's the quiet internal frustration of knowing the answer is, but you just can't access the file. And if you have been feeling this, if any of this sounds achingly familiar, I need you to hear this loud and clear. You are not imagining it. You are not making it up. This is a real, valid part of the MS experience. It's not a personal failing, it's a neurological reality. The most powerful thing we can do is give it a name and give others a simple way to understand it. So, here are a few phrases you can keep in your back pocket. You can say, my brain runs a little delayed sometimes. I'm listening, I just need a beat to catch up. That single line unlocks patience. Or try this one. Thanks for explaining that. Could you give me a moment to process it? My brain's search engine is a bit slow today. A little humor can go a long way. And for those moments when you need to set a boundary, you can say, I want to give this my full attention, but my cognitive battery is low. Can we pick this up tomorrow? This is why we talk about this stuff. To take these confusing, isolating feelings and turn them into clear, manageable concepts. To give you the language to advocate for yourself. If this video gave you a moment of clarity, a feeling of being seen, then our mission is on the right track. Stick around because we've got your back. No doom, no gloom, just truth and tools. We're here to help you understand your brain, so you can work with it, not against it. Because understanding is the first step to empowerment.